Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Wholesale Hotties. We have myself, Don DeMolinex, with one of our co-hosts, Monique Fell, and our amazing guest that we have tonight, Jennifer Beatty. Hey,
Hello.
Jennifer. Thanks for
You
joining
know,
us. Yeah. Hey, and how's it going in Washington State, Monique?
oh, we're doing great over here so far. No, which is unusual. We haven't had any snow this year. I think every year we always get snow. So no snow going on right now. We're getting ready for a squat up with our teams and excited about that and building out different. I just sold another one of our big houses that we've been working on getting sold. So that was good.
Good, good. Nice, nice. Jennifer, how are you doing in Arizona?
I am great.
Loving the sunshine?
I am. I'm loving the sunshine here.
Nice. Well, Jennifer, we wanted, I know you're in sub two and you're a realtor, and as we call you, a unicorn agent. It's a thing because you're so special and you work well with creative options for clients and stuff. So tell us how you got started in real estate and what all you guys are doing now.
So I actually started my journey in real estate when I was 20 years old. I bought my first income property a long time ago, and when I was in college. And I actually did that because I had a friend that was an agent that was kind of just saying that this might be a good opportunity. And it was house hacking before house hacking had a name.
Nice.
So yeah, we started with buying a condo and I rented out the rooms and then they paid the whole mortgage. And then I sold that and took those profits and bought a triplex and rented out those units, and they paid the whole mortgage. And then we lived there for 3.5 years, and then we sold that property. Our goal was for me to be able to be a stay-at-home mom when we had kids, for my husband and I. And we weren't married when I got my first condo that I lived at, and then we were married and had our triplex, and then we flipped a couple houses. And so we built a nice little nest egg so that we could put a huge down payment, so we could live on one income. And then we had a whole bunch of kids. And we were completely out of the real estate game for quite a few years.
A whole bunch, Jennifer. How many's a whole bunch?
Right.
Well, so we have 4 biological kids, and we have 4 kids that we adopted through foster care.
Okay.
You got a whole bunch.
And I also was a surrogate twice.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
Gosh, Jennifer, you're amazing. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a lot.
You're too sweet. Well, I have a passion for helping people and using whatever resources or skills that I have to being able to help people. One of those was I love being pregnant. I had really easy pregnancies. And so I just decided that I wanted to help a family be able to have a baby if they weren't able to do that. So yeah, that was my fun time during the 22 years that I was a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, wow.
And then I got my real estate license once I moved to Arizona. And my goal was to teach people how to become investors, to pay it forward, because our life was completely changed because of a realtor explaining the benefits of becoming an investor.
When did that take place? Like when you said before moving to Arizona. So where were you living originally, and when did that agent, and where did you meet them at?
I was originally living in California in Orange County. And it was actually a friend that was a really young agent. So we were both 20, and he had been an agent just for a year.
Okay. But that's the one who told you to buy that, and you bought that first condo and you started there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. So then you get here to Arizona and you get your agent license, or?
Yeah. So I got my real estate license once I got in Arizona. And so I just help people learn how to become investors. And then my husband and I are full-time investors now. And and then I do real estate full-time with other clients too.
So you don't actively do real estate like as a licensed broker anymore?
I am. I still am licensed, and I'm with a brokerage that is very investor friendly. and they also are creative finance firms.
Oh,
Huge thing that I looked for. So initially, when I started with one brokerage, and I loved that brokerage. It was a great brokerage, but they did not like creative finance. So it became a goal of mine because I wanted to be able to offer every option to my clients,
yeah.
whether it's an investor or a traditional buyer or seller. I mean, probably 85% of homes are meant to sell in the traditional market with traditional financing, and that's great if that happens. But depending on the person's situation and the market, I mean, if a person's top goal is getting their top dollar and the market is saying no, that it's not going to be able to give them the amount that they want, then that seller is not going.
Did she freeze or is it just me?
No, she froze.
Oh no.
There you are. Wait. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I can't hear you now. We lost your volume.
Oh no.
Oh, there you are. You're back. You're fine. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Could be my computer.
So if the seller is trying to get top dollar and the market is rejecting the amount that they would like to get, and they're having to give concessions and co-broke and lower their price, that person is not going to be able to sell for the amount that they want, and creative finance might be the option that they need. So I linked up with a brokerage that allows me to present to traditional buyers and sellers and investors the option of creative finance. So we get the full spectrum of every option that they could choose, which is the best one for their situation.
Wow. So what kind of options do you guys offer? I mean, that's incredible. And that brokerage needs to be shared with the community because that's a really rare find.
So my brokerage is called W & Partners Luxury Firm. They have 3 different offices, and Mesa, Chandler, and North Phoenix or Glendale. And it's an amazing brokerage. I really, really like them. And what's great is in our listing presentation, they even want us to be able to provide the option of subject to terms, seller financing, and even an auction. Because an auction isn't just for when you're losing your home. Someone could put their house up on an auction by choice.
We met a guy that did that
before.
Yeah, we met a guy that's an agent and did that on a property we were looking at. We're like, this price is so low, but he said they do that to see if they can get to a price that works for that seller. And
right,
very interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same brokerage he works for.
Maybe, because I was just very blown away when I found this brokerage, and I switched right away because that was exactly every check mark that I wanted as an agent that works with investors, but also as an agent that, again, could give my clients every option and have the full support of my broker.
Yeah, I like that.
That's amazing. That's a smart brokerage. That's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys got a title company that's you can work with that's really good about working with these deals, because that's going to be another issue, right? Okay.
Yes, we do have a couple title companies that are preferred title companies that work great with all these different options.
Okay. Even the subject where people are like, oh, you can't do that. That's not legal. But that's not true. That's cool. Wow. We'll have to send you guys that are watching. You'll have to definitely dive in and reach out to Jennifer for buying some creative deals. That's amazing. I had no idea. I mean, you and I talk, and we've met at places walking a property and stuff, but I had no idea that that's kind of a brokerage that was even out there that did that. That's so cool. Yeah.
Yes. We also do novations.
Oh, wow. You guys cover everything then that I can think of off the top of my head. And you guys, do you ever suggest lease options for your clients?
I haven't personally done a lease option, but I haven't asked about that. So I'm not as familiar, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. So if we found a property that we liked and we would want you to present it to their agent, you could do that for us as a creative option and give them like, okay, let's look at this. How many different ways could we possibly give this agent that opportunity, and then you could actually talk on somebody's behalf, especially somebody starting that doesn't understand how to talk to these agents and explain the opportunities that it works for everybody.
Definitely. I have spoken to help other wholesalers because just having my real estate license definitely gives me a little bit more credibility. And they know that I, have the backing of my broker. There are some agents that are with brokerages that are not on board with all of this. And I just feel like I didn't want to jeopardize my license. I wanted to do everything by the book and with my broker's support.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Huh. Do you guys, are they just locally? They're not like nationwide or anything for all these
Right,
other?
we're just local. But yeah, if anyone would ever like to connect with my brokerage, I'm happy to explain more and give more details and help make that connection with them.
Cool. And then, so when did you started fix and flipping? When did you start doing that?
So my fixing and flipping was also in my early 20s is when we started.
Okay.
And then we also started it now in Arizona. So we're
You got a project right now, right? Or you just finished it up?
So we just finished our first flip in Arizona. And what was really cool was that we were able to improve the functionality of the house. So it had this really odd room that was kind of useless. And it had this long, skinny pantry. And it was only a 5-foot by 9-foot room outside of the pantry. And so the pantry was this like skinny closet. So anyway, we tore down the pantry and we ended up being able to convert it into a dining room.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
nice.
So that was a great improvement of the functionality of the room. And then, so that's on market right now. And then my second project, we just acquired a short time ago. And the second project, I picked it up from a wholesaler and I bought it with hard money. And I'm getting a rehab done to it, and I'm gonna get a DSCR loan, and then I'm gonna convert it to a co-living house, and it has an ADU in the backyard. Well, it's not a full ADU yet, but we're gonna make it a full ADU. It just needs plumbing, so we're gonna add plumbing to the ADU, and right now, well, when I bought it, it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And we actually found an abandoned bathroom in that house, which was an interesting find.
How did you find an abandoned bathroom?
So what was really weird was there was this odd closet. So the master bedroom, it's basically 2 rooms that are offset from each other. And so we figured that they added on the second half of the room. So it's just a little off from the first one. But it looked like there was 3 closets in the room. One was a sliding traditional closet. One was a large walk-in closet. And then there was this weird closet that like had just 3 floor cabinets on the floor and then a sconce on the wall. And we're like, this is literally a useless room. What are we going to do with this? So we're like, let's just rip out these cabinets and like make floor to ceiling cabinets and actually make it another closet. Right. And so anyways, when we went to rip out the cabinets, there was a toilet flange on the floor underneath one of the cabinets.
Wow.
And then the other 2 cabinets, there was a shower drain underneath the cabinet.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. So now you have this three, right?
Correct.
And well, it's the way you talk about the master bedroom though. Is that going to be converted into more than 1 bedroom, or that be?
It is. We are going to we're going to put a wall up between those 2 offset rooms and like a hallway, so that you walk down the hallway through, parallel to the entry bedroom to get to the second half. And the second half will have its own bathroom.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to add a bedroom to the front room, a bedroom to the dining room, and then half the bedroom is going to be like an area for a table to eat at. So with the ADU, it'll be 7 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, but the ADU will have its own bathroom. So technically 4.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah. How many square feet are you looking at for?
It's just under 1,600 square. Well, the ADU square footage, I can't recall how much it is. It's quite large, but without the ADU, the house is just under 1,600 square feet.
But you're still able to get that many bedrooms in there. That's just seems the layout. It's interesting. I know I talked to you about coming to see it and stuff. I just haven't had a chance, but I would love to walk that with you and see what's going on.
We'll definitely get that tour for you. But yeah, it's a fantastic find. So the great thing about this property is that even though I bought it with hard money, once I get my DSCR loan, I will be able to give myself a $20,000 assignment fee for buying the house after I get all my money back for my down payment with the hard money lender. And then once I convert it, we should net between $2,500 and $3,000 a month with this property fully occupied.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah. So for co-living, kind of what's your strategy for the co-living there?
Just that we're actually going to be, we haven't decided if I'm going to be the property manager or if we're going to use one of the property management companies that's local for co-livings. I'm not going to be utilizing Pad Split for this house. But
so are you like looking for, are you guys doing like a sober house or are you just?
So we're not sure if we're going to have just any resident, or this is the one that we're going to convert to being the one for aged out foster kids.
Oh yeah. Nice. That'd be interesting to find out more. And you being a foster parent and stuff, I definitely got to be close to your heart. And you probably have some good connections to reach out and see what would need to be done to a home to make it work for that type of situation.
Definitely. Yeah. So we do have some connections that I've been just doing some research with all the different foster groups that we're part of. There are a lot of nonprofits that we're connected with because they will do different things for for current foster kids or adopted kids. So we still are connected with them since we have adopted children.
Yeah. 4. How many are living at home still?
7.
7 of the 8. Wow.
Yeah, my 8th daughter is a Marine and she's married and she lives in San Diego area with her husband who's also a Marine.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. We were just there not last month or this month, so that's a beautiful area. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, at least they're close enough. You still can do a road trip to drive and see and visit. So
definitely. So yeah, but lots of great opportunities, and we're really excited to venture and be full force in the co-living area.
So are you looking at more in your neighborhood? Are you looking just throughout the whole Phoenix area? What's kind of your guys' goal?
So we're open to anywhere within Maricopa County at the moment. Predominantly focusing right now on the West Valley, but there's just so much opportunity in the East Valley, and a lot of the foster agency, like the nonprofits, are in the East Valley. So we're definitely going to have to venture that way because there are a lot more resources in the East Valley.
Oh, I got a property I need to talk to you about then. Yeah, it's over in Mesa off of Powers out there. So yeah, I would definitely chat with you about it because we're trying to figure out what to do with it too. So this might be a good opportunity to partner up with somebody like yourself, because I kind of have, my heart for helping kids out of foster care. And my concern for them is like they get just booted out and then they get into the streets. They have no options. And so they get into drugs and get into bad situations. So if you can get to these kids and help them before that happens, less chance of them having these issues to battle with down the road with drug addiction and that kind of stuff and human trafficking. I think it's really smart to be able to help these kids feel like they matter. And so we'll definitely have to talk about it and show you that property, because we're working on a DSCR loan on it right now. So our buyer just isn't able to pull the trigger, and I'm like, you know what? The Lord must want us to keep this house. It's like we've had so many different things, and it's like, so I'm kind of foreseeing that maybe that's something we need to definitely chat about.
Well, I have a great DSCR lender also that can get a property closed in 7 to 10 days if needed.
What?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we definitely need to talk, because we're talking to the hard money lender, but because they've been we've been making payments. Everything's been going good with them. We thought, well, if you guys already do them, we'll do this. But I don't know, how long are they going to drag this out, whatever, too. So we just need to, definitely would love to reach out to them and make those connections.
A DSCR could take usually about 3 to 4 weeks. So we were really excited when we found someone that could do it in 7 to 10 days.
Yeah.
It's great.
Is that through your office? You've learned about these guys through your office?
That one isn't through my office. That is just through my networking. I do a lot of networking, and I'm always, because it's not what you know, it's who you know, along with what you know. And I'm always searching for more wholesalers, more buyers, and more lenders, and just every kind of resource that any of my clients or myself need.
Well, we definitely should need to talk then. Yes, definitely. I love that. So what is your guys' goal for the next year or the next 5? What are you kind of wanting to do and expand? And
so our goal is to another thing that we did last year that was an amazing opportunity for my husband and I was we utilized an amazing business structure that we learned about through our networking that's called the ROBS business structure. It's a rollover business startup. Yeah.
I heard about that.
Yeah. So I was actually my husband had a W-2 job for 22 years. And due to this business structure, we were able to set up our business where we were able to cash out his 401. Well, he retired from his job. And we were able to cash out his 401k and have checkbook access to be able to buy properties, invest, lend on property, lend on deals, and then also we can buy businesses with it. So it's a pretty amazing structure. And the scary part of leaving your W-2 is how am I going to have that passive income that's going to replace it unless you have like a really, really good savings account set up. And even then, if you work really hard, you still don't know when that passive income is going to be locked in. And so what's great is with the structure that we utilized, that we're required to pay ourselves a salary from the business. And so we answered the problem or solved the problem of where are we going to get that income replaced until we get that passive income going.
Yeah, because I remember going to a class and it was about the ROBS was one little aspect of it. And at the time I was like, I haven't really dug into it, but it sounded really interesting from what I had picked up on. So, yeah. So is that something that anybody can do, you think? Or do you need to be a certain point in your life? Or what would you suggest with the ROBS?
So if someone has a very healthy 401k that they've been investing in for a good amount of time, then they could utilize this. I think the requirement is like a minimum of $36,000 to be able to do it. Okay. But obviously you can't. And so you're required to pay yourself, and you can pay yourself whatever amount you want that's reasonable. So in that case, you wouldn't want to pay yourself a whole lot if you only have a little bit. But basically, it's just an alternative to a Roth. Now I'm drawing a blank what it's called, but a Roth IRA. Yes, Roth IRA, of people transferring their money into that account. But it's just a great option if someone wants to form their business with their 401k, and if it has a healthy amount of money in it.
So it's only the ROBS can be done with a 401k?
Correct.
Okay.
A 401k that you're no longer contributing to.
Right, that you're no longer at that employer. So how does that grow and not, like, obviously, I get 36,000. I mean, that's, most people have more than that for an annual salary. How does that prevent it from just like,
so they couldn't, it's not probably the best choice if someone were to only start with that amount of money. So that's why I say, I mean, I'm not, any kind of financial advisor, but what we've utilized is with having my husband's healthy 401k and forming this business so that we could use it and have checkbook access for our lending, for our income, for our income that we have coming in for us temporarily, and then for any business investments that we do or property investments that we do. So you can't add money to it once you form it. You can only add money by the passive income that's coming in.
Okay, so you basically, your husband's getting a salary, but then you could lend on one of your deals as a private money lender, and then that interest can go back in with what you create. So that's where you keep the money growing at.
Yes.
Okay, I got.
But I can't just say, "Oh, I made $10,000 as a realtor, and let's invest my $10,000 into this account." I can't cross those two.
Got it. Okay, and so the advantage too of the 401k is you're not getting penalized when you're doing it this way.
Correct. So we didn't get any. He's not a retirement age,
Right.
and we did not get any penalties at all for taking the money out.
Okay. So that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks for clarifying that, because, like I said, I learned a little bit about it, but I wasn't quite sure on it. But what else you guys got going on with your?
So basically, so for the flip that I did, I actually brought that opportunity to one of my buyers that's an investor, and I was trying to sell it to him as a flip for him to do. But he lives in another state, and he said, I really don't have boots on the ground. So it would be, he'd have to get a contractor and get every single thing all from another state done. So he asked me if I wanted to partner with him, and I would be the boots on the ground while he funded the deal. And so I was an operator for him for that project. So I was the project manager. I oversaw everything, and kind of had that be my little baby with my partner. So that was a really good opportunity. Instead of just getting a wholesale check, now I'm in a partnership to share the equity of that property.
Yeah, I like doing those kind of deals too, when you can bring in somebody else, and it's like less risky because you're not just you and your husband doing that. You got a partner. Sometimes I've done it with my GCs, my partner, and my private money lender. So we split it, a third, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just nice too, because like what my focus was, I'm not having to try to organize everything. I have my GC who kind of runs with it. And then I had myself, making sure the money was coming in to pay the subs and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I like that. It takes a lot of stress off of you, right?
It does. And then it's just really nice to be able to have someone that is equally invested in the project, to have ideas bouncing off each other. So
Right.
I might come up with one idea and I'll bring it across to him, and he's like, "Oh, actually, maybe we should do it this way." He might think of things that I didn't. So it's really great to have. I really like having that good partnership when you're both at equal levels, and can just come up with really good ideas together instead of just it all being on just one person's shoulders.
Yeah. It's nice. It's so relaxed. For me, it was like, why haven't we done this sooner? But all the other classes and things I've taken before we joined the Sub2 community was not ever focused on that. It was always just like, this is what you're supposed to do. And they didn't want to share their secrets, and they don't want to, do this and that and share their GCs or anything. And it was just like, you kind of stumbled through it, where we get in this community and you partner with people, like we said, do some JV agreements, work together, and it is a lot better. I really enjoy this community. Oh, we lost your voice again for some reason.
Oh,
there
am
you
I
are.
back yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're back. That was
I don't know what's wrong. So one of the things that was the thing that I love the most about the Sub2 community, actually, when I found Sub2, I had a listing that had every check mark for needing to be a subject to terms property. The sellers were in a hurry to leave. The sellers actually had took it over as an assumable loan before they found, when they bought the property. And they paid too much for the property. So they did not have a very ethical realtor. And the realtor told them, "Oh, you don't need to get an inspection because I forgot to say that they were renting the house." And then the previous seller said, "Hey, do you guys want to buy this as an assumable loan? Because I want to sell." And so the realtor that they were working with told them, you don't need to get an inspection. You already live in the house. So you already know if there's anything wrong with it. You could save that money. Oh, you don't need an appraisal because it's an loan assumption. So you don't need to worry about that. And so they bought too high, and they were lucky that there wasn't anything wrong with the house.
Right.
But that was just pure luck. And so anyways, my algorithm, it always listens to everything that our problems are and gives us nice suggestions. And so my algorithm on Instagram showed me Pace Morby video for sub 2. And I'm watching this video, the 60-second video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly my seller's situation. This is so crazy. They need to move in a hurry. They have low equity. They have a great interest rate. And it had been on the market for maybe like 40 days. I was doing my market research of calling the other realtors that had listings that were in the area to see what their activity was like. And they were not getting any activity at all. They had no showing requests. They had no one showing up to their open houses. But we did that because we were advertising it as an assumable loan at 3.25% for the interest rate. And so I was telling them, like, hey, maybe we should consider this. Actually, before I told them that, so I saw the video pop up of sub 2, and I was like, I want to buy houses this way, and this would be a great solution for my sellers. So I signed up for a call for sub 2, and when I filled out the application form, it said that I had to wait 2 days to get a call back.
Oh no!
So, I know, that's an eternity. I'm like, no.
Oops. Wait, Jennifer, you froze. I don't know if you hear me.
Am I?
Not quite. You're trying. There you are. There you are.
Okay. So I especially wanted to know if this was a solution for my seller that I could help them. And so anyways, they had sent me an email. Sub 2 sent me an email saying, oh, check out these little videos so you can learn more about it. So I watched one of Pace's 1-hour videos in that email that broke down all the different exit strategies and how they were actually paying the wholesaler, paying the bird dog, and they were paying the sellers more than any wholesaler had offered them previously. And they were profiting. And I'm like, how is this even possible? I want to do this. And so I text the phone number that was going to talk to me in 2 days. And I told them, do I have to wait? Because I want to sign up tonight. So it took me 1 hour and 60 seconds to realize that sub 2 was exactly what I needed for my business and for my own personal business too.
Right. Yeah. So were you able to use that with that client?
So I did give him the opportunity. And that client was a little bit on the quirky side, and he was only communicating. I mean, other than my listing presentation that was in person, he only communicated by text. And so it was really hard for me to explain what sub 2 was.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyways, it ended up not working out. And what's so sad was that I ended up not continuing to be his agent by my choice and sent him the cancellation for our contract because he was not communicating very well with the texting. He would not lower his price. He would not listen to even see if sub 2 would work for him. And I didn't want to jeopardize my license by pushing him into something that he didn't feel comfortable with. And so, you know what, this is just not going to work. And that was the best thing for myself and for him. And he ended up getting it sold, I believe, 4 months later, and for $50,000 less than what we had it on the market for.
Hey.
So he definitely wrote a check to sell that house.
Oh, geez.
But I'm forever grateful that that house brought me to sub 2.
Yeah.
And, I mean, being in the real estate field with realtors, it's very much full of a lot of gatekeepers. If someone is very successful as a realtor, they will not tell you what they're doing. They'll say, oh, join my team. And I will be happy to help you with you getting 50% of my commission, of your commission. And so anyways, when I found Sub 2 and I saw all the people in it were not gatekeepers, but everyone was like, oh, I'll help you do this. And oh, I'll explain this to you. And I would love to underwrite that for you and teach you holding your hand how to do it. In addition to Pace and all his community leaders, it's very, very different. And so when I go to networking groups and I meet other realtors that are not unicorn agents, that are not familiar with creative finance, they immediately look at me as their competition and like want to avoid me. And they find out that I'm a realtor, and I will kind of go out of my way and say, like, we're not each other's competition. We can have the exact same client and look for houses, and we will never see the same house. Like there's so many out there, especially if they're off market.
Yeah.
And so I explained to them how we can work together, how I would love to solve if they have a problem house that is not moving on the market and the seller is not willing to change their price based on what the market is clearly telling them that they need to lower the price, that I would love to be the problem solver for them and help them, get a referral fee for it, or I'll get a referral fee for helping their client. So yeah, it's just really great to see that we're not gatekeepers in the Sub 2 community, and the agents that I meet in the Sub 2 community are just happy to connect and work together.
Yeah.
You explained that really well, Jennifer. And I think that so many people have been conditioned to really believe that gatekeeping is the way to do business and to keep things away from their competitors, when there's so much value out there of collaborating and working together as a team and sharing, that they don't really understand that methodology until they're exposed to it and they're taught in a way that they can get it.
Yes, for sure. That's exactly what I encountered. And I just like to try to convert and explain so it's like my own private win every time that I encounter an agent that's like very standoffish and, views me as competition, for them to walk away from me thinking, wow, we could actually collaborate and work together. And this person wants to just give me information, even though that they might make money off of what I told them, and I may not. And that's not what the point is.
No. It's helping people. Like you said, it's like your passion is helping people. It's like, if you can help somebody and I can help you to help somebody, I don't care, because you'll get yours in the end. It's just always just feels good to help people out there that are struggling, and bring people on to understand that there's a lot more options. I have a friend that just took and got his real estate license here in the state of Arizona within the last 8 months. And he said they actually taught Subject 2 in the class.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
With the brokerage that he did his training with?
Through, I don't know if it was the brokerage or the state or class he took, whatever, through the class he took.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the state test is really just to be able, the class is to pass the test.
Right.
And not very much of it is actually something that you use in your real estate business. But the real training comes with the brokerage that you pick. And so that's why I knew it was really, really important to get matched with the right brokerage. I have met agents in the past that are not doing as good of a job or is not as successful. And it really, really matters which brokerage and which team that you're part of, and how much that they want to support each other, and just continue that education. We're always learning. So I'm always excited to learn from whoever I meet, and take whatever classes that I think might benefit myself or my clients.
Yeah. Hey, like that's I had an agent that I talked to right before the holidays about a property, and she reached out a few days later via text after our conversation and just said, "Are you still interested?" I said, "Yeah, we're traveling for the holidays. When I get back, I'll reach out to you and see if it's still available." Because I asked her, if it doesn't sell, what is their plan? And she's like, "Well, probably going to make it a rental." I said, "Well, I'd be interested in talking to you, about some options that we could look at." And so I reached out, nothing. I reached out again last Sunday, nothing. I left a voicemail today, nothing. It's like, how are they supposed to sell these properties for these clients? It's been on the market 125 days if they don't respond and look at options for their clients. I don't.
My mind is blown at the amount of agents that do not call you back. So, I mean,
And you're an agent.
call everyone back. If someone's calling them asking about a property, 100% you should call them back. But there's also agents like I will call, identify my name, my brokerage, and I'm calling about your listing at this address. Please call me back. And I would say probably 85% don't call me back.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a very high number.
That's a
Oh.
really high number.
I predominantly call agents daily, and the people that don't call me back, that I call them 3 or 4 times, and eventually I might get a hold of them live. But I mean, and I have lots of agents that will go look at houses and then not give feedback. So they'll look at a listing of mine and then not give any feedback at all.
And that's how you get to tell your client how to help them sell their home, by the feedbacks. It's like,
Right.
it takes you 2 seconds, or it takes you a couple minutes to do a feedback. It's not that complicated. You can send a text, whatever. I just blows me away how they're not very doing their job very well. No wonder there's only so many agents that make money at this.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard, like, what did they say? Like, very small percentage of them actually make over, even just under 100K, but make or sell one deal a year or whatever. I'm like, geez Louise.
Where do you think the disconnect is, Jennifer?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just too busy, not necessarily with real estate. I don't know what they're busy with, but they're not answering their phone.
Like they have another job or something, huh?
I don't know. I had one agent that I called, and I called her, it happened to be on a Wednesday. And I only know this because I happened to call her at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and she answered the phone. And she said, I was telling her that I had an interested buyer in the property. And it was when I was very, very brand new to Sub2. And so my mentor was telling me, like, set me appointments, and then you can learn on a 3-way call how this works, how we offer the option of subject to terms. And so I was like, yeah, great. I'll set appointments all day long. So this was an appointment setting, right? And so I didn't know how to explain Sub2 at the time. And she actually told me, oh, well, I can't schedule an appointment because I only work on Wednesdays. And so I was like, okay, well, can we talk next Wednesday? Because do you have any time today? And she's like, oh, no, I'm totally booked up today. So I scheduled an appointment with her for the following Wednesday at 11 a.m. And we called her, and she didn't answer. And then she said, oh, I'm with the client. I'm not available. We'll have to talk next Wednesday.
What?
Wow. So you're that as a person who would have my home listed with her, I'd be really upset to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for somebody to make an offer, and you won't even take the time to take a call to find out if this is a legit offer that I could sell.
But the homeowner probably has no clue. I mean,
No.
how
And
do
at
they
what
know?
point, Jennifer, do you feel like somebody like myself who can find the buyer's name and their phone number and their email, how do you feel for myself? And this is what I was talking to Monique about earlier, but reaching out to them directly and in a nice way without trying to offend their agent, but just saying, hey, I had communication back in December. I've tried a couple times, and I just haven't gotten a response. I'm just wondering if your agent had presented to you some options I was offering to help with the sale of your house. And I mean, what point do you think that's okay or not okay? What would you say?
So as a real estate agent, I'm not allowed to do that at all. I only can go with through the realtor. And then I can, talk to their broker if I feel like I'm having a problem. But you, as a wholesaler, are welcome to do whatever you would like. And I mean, I think more of these people need to realize that, you know, their agent may not be doing their best job that they should be doing, and they should be made aware of that.
Mhm.
I did talk to a wholesaler at one of my networking groups that said that he had called an agent. He sent her an LOI, and she didn't respond. He tried to call her, and she didn't call him back. I think he said he called her probably 3 times, left 3 voicemails talking about his LOI. She never called him back. So then he reached out to the seller and spoke with the seller, and the seller was 100% on board with the offer that he had sent. And so then the seller told the agent, like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is the guy I'm talking to. And the agent called the wholesaler and told him lots of not nice things on his voicemail, and then continued it when he called her back and said that that the wholesaler was trying to go around her and cut her out of the deal. And he said, I absolutely was not trying to go around you. I tried to contact you multiple times and you just didn't call me back. And like, clearly this seller wanted this because they're on board.
Yeah, like this, it's almost 6 months, which she'll be done. I mean, a contract's typically 6 months, and I'm like, guys, really, if we make a deal, you probably don't have to pay her. I don't know. You know, I just like.
Well, it depends on the contract. So some contracts will say that if someone contacted the realtor during the time frame that they were under contract with the realtor and the client, that they would still get a commission off of them.
Which is not right if they're not returning calls.
Right.
It's just irritating.
I agree. I mean, more people just need to speak up when they're having a situation like that. And again, I just have to go the realtor route and talk to the real estate agent and the broker.
Well, they might not know to reach out either. They don't realize the business model is flawed. They just think this is what they have to do, and they don't have a clue, you know, depending on how many houses they've bought and sold over the years. And even then, there's no real cut and dry. There's no instructions. How do I deal with a real estate agent type of thing? No.
No, right? Most people, the majority of people buy 1 or 2 houses in their whole life.
Exactly.
So they don't have this interaction that they really know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And when someone's not doing their job correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I even went on her Facebook page, found the property that she did a walkthrough, and she's done all these walkthroughs and she's posting all this stuff. But the last one she did on this property that's for sale was in October of 2025. So she's really not doing them any justice. She's not marketing it for them. She's not returning calls for them. It's like, how hard is it to fire your agent?
Well, you have to mutually agree. Otherwise, if the client just wants to fire the agent, if the agent's not cooperative with it, then they're kind of stuck. But they can't go to the broker.
I was going to say, can they go to their broker just to say, hey, this is what's been going on, and I'm just not getting anywhere with this agent. I just am not happy anymore. Can I in my contract, right? So that would be something for them. But yeah, it's like the thing is, these agents, like, not all of them are doing that, but there's so many of them that I've called that don't ever return calls, and you're like, man, if I were my agent, I would be upset if I know this. How are they supposed to find this out?
Your contract with the seller is with the broker, not the agent. The agent is just a salesperson that's representing on behalf of the broker. Mm-hmm. So the commission goes to the broker, and then the broker gives the real estate agent their percentage that they get. So if you're having a problem or a seller is having a problem, they're really contracted with the broker.
So the thing is, they should reach out to the broker and say, hey, I got a contract and I'm not getting any calls back. I haven't got an offer yet.
Yeah.
What's going on? How do I find out if my agent is actually answering their calls? Because I hear this is a big issue, that they're not returning phone calls. What do I need to do? I mean, But then you're always worried if you piss off the referee, are they going to not make it, they're going to make it even worse on you, right? So
Honestly, I don't think a broker would do that. I did when I very first moved to Arizona, the realtor that we used, we actually were under contract with the house before I got my license. And when I was in California, I used the same real estate agent the whole time. So I was just blessed that I had an amazing agent that really, really cared and knew what was best for my family and knew us really well, so I could trust him. But when I came here, I had a realtor that was great at setting appointments, but we had an inspection done on a house that we had under contract that we were buying or trying to buy. And the pool was totally green when the inspector came. And so he couldn't look at the pool at all. So we paid for a pool inspection to be done. And I told the realtor, like, hey, can you contact the listing agent and let them know that the pool is green and that I have this appointment scheduled for this date and I need the pool to be clear for my inspection? And she said, yeah, sure. So then when my pool inspector came for the inspection that cost me $175, the pool was green still. So I called my realtor and I was like, hey, the listing agent didn't get the pool cleared, like didn't tell the seller or there's some miscommunication. And she said, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to tell her.
at least she admitted it. At least
I don't think she meant to admit it. It was kind of like she did, like she said that and then was like, oh, whoops.
Backpedal.
So I had to pay for the pool inspection because they were requiring me to still pay for it. They had showed up for their appointment. And so anyways, and then when we were getting to the end of that deal, she told she put a lot of doubt in the seller, or it was an agent that was flipping the house. And so she put a lot of doubt in her that we were going to close because we were taking a while to decide. We went back and forth with repairs because it needed a lot of work that was like hidden that we didn't realize. And it was going to cost us a lot more money. And that agent actually made my seller, my buyer's agent, made my seller start not wanting to proceed with the transaction because they had so much that they were just telling everything. My own agent was telling everything of her opinion of what was happening. And it really soured the deal and made them be less cooperative. And so that's when I was like, oh my gosh, if this is how realtors are, like, and she was actually a pretty successful realtor that has a huge following, which I didn't know that at the time when I picked her. And so, it really, really ruined that deal for us. And it was a blessing because we ended up finding a different house that we wanted more than the house that we were currently under because that did not need all the repairs.
That's nice.
Would have cost a lot more money. And we were offering full asking price for the house. And it just was not a good fit with the amount of repairs that were needed behind the scenes of the electrical and the roof. And there was problems with the pool. That it looked like a great property. But then once our inspection came, it was not.
Oh, yeah. And that's cheap insurance. People are like, oh, I don't need an inspection. But yeah, those inspections can really save you on a lot of stuff. It's a cheap insurance policy. So what would you say to people when they are wanting to hire an agent to represent them? What would some good questions be to interview an agent?
So I would basically say, for sure, don't go with just the first agent you talk to. You definitely need to interview at least 2, ideally 3. Probably, I remember there was a stat that said that like 80% of people that list their house on the market go with the very first agent that they talk to. And they don't even know if that realtor is going to really give them all the options that they need. They don't know if that realtor really knows their stuff. So basically, it's really, really important to interview more than one agent. And then also, I don't just go with a realtor that's your friend or your cousin or someone that you know, because you don't know if they actually know how to do their job. I had a really good friend when I sold my house in California that I had been friends with her for more than 15 years. And I knew that I needed to list my house with her because she was such a good close friend of mine. And we got a $50,000 over asking price offer 2 or 3 days after my house went on the market. And basically, she lost me that that deal because she said, "Oh no, we need to wait because if we got this deal ready, we need to have an open house." And when we're going to have an open house,
the first deal is usually the right deal.
exactly. And so I actually could have sued her, but I chose not to.
Right.
Because of our friendship. But basically, it's just really, really important that I learned that don't just go with someone because you happen to know them. Make sure that they know their stuff. Make sure that they are marketing your house. Make sure that they are going to do open houses if you want them, and that they are going to communicate every single offer that's presented to you, regardless if they deem it worthy of being presented. And just that you are able to know every option available to you. So ideally, depending on the situation, you might want to go with a realtor that will give you more than just the traditional financing options.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, guys, but I have to bounce to another meeting. So,
Okay. Well, I guess we're at the 6 o'clock,
We are.
isn't it? Our time is pretty much up. But yeah.
thank you
All
so
right,
much.
Monique.
It's so glad to meet you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Well,
All
thank
right,
you
well-
so much. I enjoyed my time with you guys, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Yeah, and Jennifer, I will definitely be reaching out to you so we can chat some more, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate you coming, and your smile is great, and you've got such a great energy about you that anybody listening should reach out to Jennifer for her local agent here in Arizona. And yeah, really trust you a lot, and you've just been a great friend that I met through the community. So thank you for coming and sharing with us.
I appreciate your kind words so much, and I'm really happy to help anyone that I can and see what the best option for them is.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's chat. I got some options for you to talk to. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.